I just bought an iPhone 13 Pro Max for $1,400 in the US. But if I were to buy that exact same thing here in Brazil, that could cost almost $3,000. This is the most expensive place on earth to buy an Apple product.
Here in Brazil, you have to have a lot of money to buy an iPhone.
In fact, it is so expensive that people cope in crazy ways.
We usually go to USA for buying MacBook.
It really is better to just fly abroad and get a new iPhone.
People stealing your phone has become popular in Brazil, especially for iPhones. They've become a prime target.
I was robbed like 2 times here in São Paulo.
Owning an iPhone in Brazil is now a status symbol. It's even commonly used to show off as a picture on Tinder.
This valuation.
$2,500, $5,000, $440. So why is Apple so expensive, especially for a country that does not have high spending power and is seeing its currency decline to the US dollar over the past decade?
I think work in Brazil is more expensive too, to security, employees.
Hold up. I almost just got kicked out of the store for filming, so show your support, hit the subscribe button.
I think half of the price, it's only about taxes.
The first reason is taxes. Brazil has high import taxes on all retail products, meaning if you're a company outside Brazil and you want to sell your product here, right off the bat, they can charge you 60% of the product in taxes. So let's say you have a $1,000 phone, you'll have to pay the government $600 to sell that phone. Obviously, Apple is not going to eat that cost, so they pass it on to the customer, making it super expensive. The next reason it's so expensive here is logistics. Brazil is a massive country, making it long and far to get products from a port to the stores. And one more factor is safety. Brazil has a large network of organized crime and gangs. As I was talking about the crime rate, I just saw somebody get arrested just across the street. So imagine a ship arriving with millions of dollars worth of Apple products into a port. And then from that port, it has to be transported safely to a city like Sao Paulo or Rio. This requires a lot of money for private security companies to ensure nothing goes wrong. People I meet here say that it's sometimes cheaper to fly to the US just to buy a phone or laptop.
Some time ago, some years ago, our family usually to go USA because the dollar was very low.
But a weakening currency and 10% inflation is making it harder than ever for people, even who are well off, to afford Apple products in Brazil. Because the iPhone is such a hot commodity, phone snatching is hugely popular here. People tell me that thieves will break their car window at a red light to grab their iPhone.
Yeah, I used to have an Apple phone, but I was robbed like 2 times here in São Paulo. It's pretty dangerous, man.
Many people I meet here have a story of their iPhone getting stolen, and because of that, some people don't even want to have iPhones anymore.
In my case, it was just a guy who, just took from my hand while I was walking down this very kind of famous avenue here in São Paulo.
At this mall, I see a Motorola store, which is no longer something you'd see in the US. I thought there was no more Motorola. So what kind of phone do you have?
Mine is Samsung.
Samsung. And here, a Samsung phone of similar caliber will cost you just $1,100. So you could literally buy over 2 of these for the price of 1 Apple. Do you have iPhone?
No.
What can you show what you have?
It's Xiaomi.
And then there's Xiaomi. The Chinese smartphone giant only started selling about 5 years ago and now is spreading rapidly across Europe and Latin America. Xiaomi has become one of the top smartphone makers here in Brazil. If you don't know what Xiaomi is, you're probably American because you will not find Xiaomi stores in the US, but it's massively expanded across the world. In Brazil, in India, it's become the #1 smartphone maker. This brand is growing really fast. Actually, the guy at the store tells me they're planning to open 10 Xiaomi stores here in Brazil just this year. And yes, it totally reminds me of an Apple store. Apple is the richest company in the world. It has more than $2.7 trillion in market cap. On one hand, it can afford to offer its products for a lot less than it does, so that more people here in the 6th most populated country can afford them. But then again, maybe it doesn't care.